We're live. Welcome to the EEAP webinar, everybody. My name is Michael Crawley, and this is Steve Crawley, and this is the God Safety and the Ventura County Contractors Association. We welcome all the members to it. This is our first one. We are here in front of these beautiful mountains. Not really in front of the mountains, just a picture, right?
Yep.
And what we're here to do, we want to first welcome you to here. We know that you have other things to do, but as a partnership with the Ventura County Contractors Association, God Safety has a great partnership that we want to share with you. We want to share this deal, how we can help you in your safety program and be more Cal OSHA compliant. Mike?
I would agree with you. So what we'll do is we'll start out telling you a little bit about us and who we are and what we do for work. Is that okay?
You bet. Why don't we get started, Mike, with telling them a little bit of the history of our group. We're going to switch to the new slide where it shows page 1 in our history.
We've got Sam to my right over here, who is our producer that's going to be working. Since we're talking to people off camera, that's just so you know who we're talking about. Back in 1990, we got started under a company's name called EEAP, the Safety People. In the picture on the brochure on your screen, you'll see that there. It's got that beautiful green cross, but there's a gentleman inside. This is EEAP. Stands for Employee Employer Assistance Program. It really is a long name, so we just shortened it up to EEAP, the Safety People. Now, for years, since 1990, we have done an incredible job going on-site to people's businesses and providing them with OSHA defense, on-site inspections, on-site training, writing their documents that are custom-made for them, and basically doing their service all from the beginning to the end at a low fee. One of the problems that we found for years of doing this, since we started back in 1990, one of the things that we always found was this. As we got to the defense aspect and we went to a company, we said, what do you guys, I need training records for you. They're suggesting you never did the training. Let me see the records. What we would find is they would go to a wonderful person in human resource. And that person in human resource would go in there and really ask for the training records. And so they maybe could find them in their files, maybe they couldn't, and then they would have to go through every line on that sheet to see who was and who wasn't good.
Awful.
And it was terrible. It really was terrible. So what I thought of is years and years ago, I thought that we need to create an online portal, some sort of app, if you will, that we can develop so that we can help people digitally track their lessons. That was the starting point. And that's when gotsafety.com was born. So Got Safety is the technology arm to EEAP, and today we're offering you the Got Safety thing at a reasonable price that is going to be fantastic that Steve and I will get into as we go through this.
Hey, Mike, when was EEAP founded again?
It was founded in the great year of 1990.
1990. That's a good year.
It was a good
Cheese Whiz was invented then, wasn't it?
I'm not sure it was invented then, Steve. I think it was invented back in the 80s. But nobody likes
Cheese Whiz.
We now are covering the entire state of California. I also write documentation under the Got Safety name of every state in the country, including, but not limited to, Alaska and the great state of Hawaii.
Woo!
So what we do is we write all these. We're experts in this Cal OSHA compliance stuff in your neck of the woods. This is where we were founded. And we met your association, met with your board members.
Yes, we did.
Talked to them about it, and they said, you know what, they loved it so much they wanted us to bring it to you. And that's what we're doing today.
Absolutely. So as you can see on your screen, we have our history about us here. I'm going to have my guy switch to the next page. And that next page is going to go right in. And what we want to do is going to go over our Got Safety system very simply. We want to give you a flavor of really what it contained in it, and then after we go over the application, after we go over the system itself, we're going to talk about the whole package. What are you going to get and how much is it going to cost, because at this point the discount is immense.
The deal is too good to be true, but I'm telling you, we can help a lot with you if we can just get in here, and that's why we're doing the show today. Safety lessons, Steve.
So let me start out. Mike brought up a very good point. The point is that right now most of us are keeping track of our safety lessons, if we're doing them at all, on sign-in sheets. We're doing them on sign-in sheets. You're filling out, everybody's printing their name and then signing their name, and then we hopefully get that paper from the job site or where we do the training back to the office where they either scan it or whether they just file it away. Heaven help you, those are the best two options.
Those are the best two options. And guys on job sites, no offense, gentlemen, we're just not great with paperwork sometimes, and they get lost all the time.
besides our core responsibilities, clearly is contracting and doing things there,
Yeah.
though safety is a matter of importance. So what we have been able to do for you right now is this. As you can see on the slide in front of you, what we have is 620 plus lessons, different topics, on all kinds of things you could possibly be interested in to train on. We then have it either on a mobile app or on your desktop, a way for you to actually read and look at that lesson, whether it's individually or it's as a group on the job site. Once you've done and talked about it, that lesson could last 20, 30 minutes, depending on the discussion, because these lessons contain enough meat that you could go for 20 or 30 minutes on a tailgate, or you could go for an hour on it discussing and customizing it to your environment. Remember, the lessons have principles and things that we need to look out for, and then we look to you guys that when you're in the field, you can apply those principles to your own environment.
The important piece of having a lesson like Steve is talking about, it really comes down to the defense aspect. And since EEAP and God Safety does more OSHA defense than any other agency in the state of California, I can clearly tell you this 100%. When you get a training citation that says you haven't been trained, it's more than just showing them the signature. They want to see the lesson plan. A lot of times on the job sites, you guys are going out there and you're going to say, we're going to talk about scaffolding safety day. And on the sign-off sheet by itself, you just write the title of the lesson, what it is. But you really don't have a spreadsheet or a lesson plan that covers those details. I cannot tell you how important that is. And when we create these lessons, obviously, we do them custom. So I can make as many as you want for you as what you need and no extra cost. But the reality of it is to have that lesson layout in the defense aspect can be a crucial piece to making sure your guys were told about those key pieces in the lesson.
You bet. Now, once you've taken this great lesson, now what your guys do on the job site or anywhere else is they go to a section, as you can see, they will type in this, first they'll hit the sign-off button.
Yep.
They will then go to the next section that will say, what is your name? They will start typing their name. Well, because you've already inputted all the employees' names into the system, no one has to totally and completely type in their name.
Right.
They'll have their name pop up. They'll select it with their employee ID next to it. After that, there is another space called Other Information. There we can add job site numbers. We can add a number of things that you guys can customize to whatever you want to search on. Remember, that field is a searchable field that you can identify that particular training.
Right.
Under that is the signature block. Your guys will sign their name with their fingers. You can see on our slide there on the left side. Once they sign and hit submit, that training record goes right up into the cloud, into your database, and it now is able instantly to be able to be tracked, printed, and then looked at any time we need to.
Now, the charge we're going to charge you is a one charge per month for the entire company, no matter how many employees you get. So all your employees can have this downloaded to their smartphones, or you can just put it on one phone. So let's say you have a group of 10 guys and they all have flip phones. I would be hard-pressed to believe that, but let's say they all have flip phones.
Right.
Let's say your foreman, though, has a smartphone or a tablet, a low-end tablet that your company buys from, whichever it is. They're able to open that up, sign, and then pass that around the group so that not everybody needs valuable technology. That's the key aspect of this. You can finally digitize, get all your signatures into one spot for everybody to do and solve the problem of training records.
Now, one of the cool things about that is, we didn't mention this, but our app fits on either Android or Apple product.
True.
So whether you want to get an Android Samsung tablet that's a couple of bucks or pay for the good stuff, right? Some of the big stuff on the Apple, the bottom line is it does exactly the same thing and you get the same benefit. No paperwork. You get the training done, you understand it, and then you get back to work. That's the biggest thing that we're able to help you with this. Now, there are a couple of benefits, Mike, to the training. Number one, on these lessons, we allow the administrators to sort it any way. So I know a lot of the contractors out there have requirements that have to show the general of the job site that they're doing trainings. What are they trained on, right? They want to see that. Well, with the other info button, if you were to key in that job site number, there is somebody back at the home office can easily do a search and print out a PDF of all that job site training for that day. They can send that and email that to the general.
Steve, what if I have 200 employees and I say, show me all the training, and I've got 198 employees and I got to figure out the 2 guys that didn't show up that day? What do I do then?
All right. It's a perfect question. What we have built into the admin portal that will be at the home office, we have a way of not only of you looking, let's go for this part, Bob gets hurt and OSHA comes to you and says, hey, Cal OSHA says, I need Bob's history.
Right.
Well, you're going to be able to go out, type Bob's name in, and print out a PDF that you can hand them of Bob's history, showing the training lesson, the date and time, even a GPS location,
right,
and his signature
right,
next to every training lesson. Very cool. Now, in the opposite of that, sometimes with 200 employees, we can't search all 200 names and say, hey, what's going on? Am I right?
Maybe Joe just didn't come in. Maybe his wife is kicking him out of the house and he had to move.
Heaven help him.
I don't know.
Joe's not that bad. His wife would never do that.
Maybe he was old.
So the point is, you go in there. Now we can search who has not been trained in a certain date field on a certain lesson. So you know that we were trained on fire safety the first week in June. I can search the first week in June for fire safety, and what that does is it matches training records with the employee list, and will give you a PDF of every single person not trained in that week.
If you've ever dealt with a bad OSHA citation or a workers' comp claim that is tough and you got an employee that has fallen through the cracks, the value of what Steve just talked about, being able to see who has not been trained, is invaluable. The big hot thing in OSHA right now on the job site is heat illnesses, as you guys know. You've got to be able to figure out who hasn't been trained. You can do blanket trainings all day long, but it's that one guy that creates the problem. He's like a profit sucker. He'll suck the profit out of a job or the whole year. The profit. You don't want to do that. So the logic of it is this. That is an invaluable piece that you put together. But Steve, what if I'm sitting there, I've done the training, I understand I can do it, but I've got employees that come in all the time. How does this app benefit a new employee that comes in?
So let me tell you a couple of things we've got. Now, as you'll look on your sheet right now to the right, you'll be able to see where we have training playlists.
Yep.
Let me tell you about training playlists, just like your iTunes playlist. I know there may be some of you out there still using Samsung, but a lot of us are using iTunes.
I think we got rid of our BlackBerries a long time ago.
Oh, we did. So what now we have is playlists. Maybe you have one for working out. Maybe you have one for driving. Maybe you have one, for the racers.
I ride the Polaris Ranger.
I call
it the hill climb.
Stop it, you. Okay. So now here we are. We're rocking on the playlist on iTunes. Lessons work the same way. We can name the lessons new hire. I can name the lessons drivers. I can name the lessons suppliers, warehouse guys. Whatever the name of the group you want to identify, we can identify in a playlist. And what it does is at the top of the playlist, if you'll look at on the picture right above on the image, you can see red boxes. Those red boxes represent as many playlists as you want to create to make training easy. So, Mike, I just hired you as a part of our construction crew. What I want you to do, get on your Got Safety app, and I want you, Mike, Bam, to take all my new hire courses. I need you to take them by the end of the week. I'll be checking.
Gotcha.
Well, as Mike is checking through and going through the lessons, he's going to have to sign for every single lesson. Your admin back at the office can check at any time, real time, to make sure that Mike gets his lessons done and is trained. Very important. I mean, a lot of times this stuff gets swept under the rug, Mike, until the accident or the injury happens.
Yeah, this app was built for all the problem solving we've done since the year 1990 when we started. And this is before the internet was around or we had this kind of technology. So one of the things that we found was, and this one is a serious matter, I will tell you, sometimes we found that employees weren't able to read very well. And I know this sounds crazy on some note, but it happens at times. If the employees aren't able to read well, what we've done is we built in the app an audio file. We can play these things in audio, so if they're not great readers and we want to make sure they got the information, they can either play it in English or in Spanish.
Espanol.
Let me tell you, this is a great feature for people that reading may not be their strong suit. Heavens forbid, I know. But this is a great thing that they can put into place. As they're putting this all locked and loaded, I mean, this is really something you'll find your employees can do, and you can search and figure out what they need. Steve was talking about job duties, new employee, and that kind of a stuff. You may be on a job and you say, all right, here's all the lessons you need to be able to work on scaffolding. So you call it the scaffolding playlist. These are all the employees they need if you're going to be a mason guy or work with the concrete.
What about a roofer?
Could be roofing or framing, whatever it is, you can make these playlists, and it really goes, and we could spend all day on those.
So just to summarize that, all our lessons are English and Spanish, PDFs. We have English and Spanish audio. We are in the process of working on doing something with video, which we're really excited about.
We are. So Sam here, he's going to rock us like a hurricane. Am I right, Sam?
Sammy.
I just got a fist bump.
Okay, fist bump. So let me just go over this. The lessons, a great deal of tools are available to the admins. You can shut off lessons. Now, we don't have that here. I'm not going to tell you a little bit about these. These are just accessories that will help train you on and we'll get to that in a minute, but we can shut off lessons so they don't have to see all 650. They can see only the lessons you want them to. We also have, besides the admin access, we have an employee access where all the employees can access the system with one single password to make it easy and clean. Now, what we want to do now, let's move on to our next module of the God Safety System. We want to go the other way there.
Yes, Sam.
One more, brother. Thank you. Our next system is forms, customized forms. Powerful.
Now, we built the customized forms to solve some problems that took place on the job site all the time. One of the things that people get cited for is not doing a forklift safety inspection on a daily basis. Sometimes people do not do their scaffolding inspections on a daily basis. They may not have the tag on the side of the scaffolding, and they check and the guys don't know what to do. Believe it or not, from the JHAs to job site hazard analysis to work projects, change order forms, anything you can think of, we figured out how to build a form meter to build this, and it really is something that if you can think it, this can do it. It's really amazing.
Let me tell you how we work this. From the admin panel, we've allowed you to enter what they call a forms builder, and as you can see it right here on the right side of your screen, this forms builder is a drop-down box. We can create whether it's a text field, we can create whether it's a select all buttons, drop-down buttons, radio buttons where it has them all across where you select all or any. The bottom line is we can even add signature lines, Mike. Signature for people to sign on, whether it's a injury reporting, maybe somebody did something that was unsafe and you have a report that you're able to do that. You can create that form here. Now remember this, all forms created must have an employee name and signature at the back, at the bottom of the person that's filling it out. They have to do that.
Sometimes guys are foremen on the job sites and you've got to take pictures of unsafe conditions. Steve has been able to build this forms builder with, you can add in like signatures but also pictures into it so you can put those in. And that way you can take pictures of the unsafe. Maybe it's an employee doing something that you're trying to write up out there, a work order change or something, and you can put that into place. This form really makes it so your guys out in the field may or may not have great writing. And I know this sounds crazy. Maybe your guys all have the most beautiful writing in the world. But if they don't have the best writing, I'm telling you, the talk to text on your phone to fill in these forms makes it so beautiful that when they save them, and Steve's got a copy of that he's going to show you on the screen, this makes it so it's seamless. They can fill them out, lock them, dock them, and then send them off to the head office.
So one of the best things of this, not only can you create the forms you want and edit these forms at any time when things change, we get kind of a paperless environment, but number two, we can put your logo at the top. If you'll look here, as you can see it on the mobile device, I have your logo at the top. So as your guys go through and fill this form out, you got brand recognition right there. They're able to talk to text. They're able to select all buttons. It makes it so much easier to fill the forms. Now, what's cool about this is once they get to the bottom and fill the form out, once they have entered their name, signed it, just like they would sign off on a lesson, and submit, that form gets turned into the PDF. So if you look on your right side screen, you'll see a PDF sample page here. Now, it's a simple form, but the benefit here is that page gets sent to two places as soon as they hit submit. It gets sent to the administrator's email, and by the way, we can name several administrators. So let's just say besides the boss and maybe an assistant at the office, you want one more, we can do that. But the beauty here is that form gets from a linear, straight down, up and down scroll to a PDF form when it shows up on the email of the administrators and on our database.
One of the problems that we found with contractors, sometimes you guys have these job sites that you guys go to early in the morning, and you've got to start a time period when they pay, and you tell them to be there at 8 o'clock to rock and roll that. Now, I'm not suggesting by any means that this is your new timesheet, but I am saying this. By using one of these forms and saying to them they're going to do a safety lesson or they're going to do some sort of job site hazard analysis on there when they first get there and they submit that form, the form will timestamp and then GPS locate stamp it there. So you can verify your guys or girls, don't want to sound sexist.
Absolutely.
Your guys or girls are on the job site at a certain time, locked and loaded, and there is no funny business. I know I do inspections for companies all the time, and they say, my guys will be there at 8. And you know what happens? They're not there till 9:30, and then they bill their company for it. And I know that doesn't happen to you because you got good employees, but this is just an insurance policy you can throw in there. So once again, you're locked, docked, and
so what Mike says about the GPS locator, it's an address on the bottom of the form. It can't be turned off. It's part of that form. So as soon as they hit submit, that GPS location or address is put right on the bottom. It really is kind of nice. And by the way, this is not our coming up with. This was a request from the field.
Yes. I think that request was from one of the people from the
another one of the exchanges.
Yes, the exchange.
Absolutely right.
It's a great one.
Very nice. Forms. customized. They look great. You are not limited to any forms. You can do anything you want,
Yes.
as many forms as you want. They can be edited and changed at any time.
If you have questions about the Forms Builder, once you come on, we have a team of IT people here in the office that work for us. They live with us here in the office, and you just call in and they can answer all your questions.
They're really
and walk you through how to build
right.
your first form, and then it's so simple that it'll be.
They're really our prisoners, right? They can't leave.
They really don't let them leave.
No, we don't let them.
We do let them leave.
Okay, sometimes. So here's the benefit. Forms. I think we got it covered on the forms.
Forms are covered.
Next page, my friend. Sam, give it to us. All right. Document upload. We're going to start there. Sounds like a funny name. The real name of it is repository.
No, it's not
the real name is
No,
repository.
it's not the real name.
I was forced to put document upload, but it's repository.
I had banned repository because none of us know what the heck that means. I can't be the only guy in the world that doesn't know what a repository is.
He is the only guy that knows, and I didn't say suppository. I said repository.
The repository. I call it the document
Okay.
upload. It's not a funny name.
So because he is the president, we have it on the list.
Thank you.
The repository or document upload
Thank you.
is a great spot. So think of your Microsoft Windows file manager.
Right.
And in that file manager, you can set up names of folders,
Right.
subfolders. You can put files, all kinds, any format of files. What we have created is a space, unlimited space section where you can put any kind of files your guys may need on the job site, at the workplace, whatever they need. Now, Mike, what kind of files are we talking about?
They could put on their basics of work order changes. One of the problems that contractors all have all the time is MSDS sheets, or now what they're called SDS sheets. You can upload all your SDS sheets in one of these files, and then the guy in the admin or the girl in the admin screen in the office can keep those up to date, and they're locked and loaded. Because this thing has so many beautiful options, and the next page we're going to get into is obviously the documentation. Your app is going to be able to get rid of your job site binders, and that could be something that is worth its weight in gold to you. You print these dangable binders, you put them in the trucks, the guys lose them, and they're supposed to be on the job site, and then the foreman with it in the car drives off, and now the job site doesn't have it, and then OSHA comes. We get cited for this all the time as you do it.
Right.
Now, with everything on there, you can use this document upload section, or for those who need to be more intelligent than the rest of us, the repository. You put this in place, you can upload work order changes, all your SDS sheets on there. You can put in there the emergency action plans, where's the local hospitals or stuff in the clinic, so it all gets put into one spot. So if the employee just has a crappy smartphone, and let me tell you, I think more people in this world have smartphones than they do toothbrushes at this point.
How dare you?
The idea of this is this, that they can put it on there and have access to everything all day long. I meet and talk to all the OSHA district managers in the state of California on a monthly basis. That's how many citations we get. They know of this app. I work with them on this app, and if they come to a job and your employees know how to use it, and I'm telling you, it is simple. You will not get citations for not having your documentation on the job site. You will not get citations by not teaching your employees about heat illness or not having the evacuation map and stuff and the hospitals and the clinics nearby on there. Everything will be in one spot. You'll just love it.
When Mike talks about SDS sheets, emergency contacts, maybe there's some certain procedures that are going on there at the certain job sites, codes, keys, whatever it is. The benefit of the document uploaded allows you to do that. Even you can upload pictures. You know, we can bring down pictures. Now, you are limited to a 10 meg file. So each file, a single file itself, is limited to 10 meg.
10 megs is pretty big, Steve.
It's a huge file, 10 megs.
Okay.
Okay.
10 megs is pretty
you
good.
can't, listen, if you think you're going to upload the director's cut of Lord of the Rings and watch that from the document upload or repository, you're not going to do it because it won't take a file bigger than 10
It is a good show. Big fan of the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I give it two.
Just look at this guy, and I can tell you're a fan of the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, he is. He's dressed as Schmeagol over there, aren't you?
No, he's not
Sam?
dressed as Schmeagol.
Okay, he's not
Sam
Schmeagol,
Malone.
but we like Schmeagol.
I do like Schmeagol.
He's a nice guy. So document upload, very cool, a lot of good functions. Mike, let's get right into documentation. Talk to about it.
We build this documentation specifically for your company, business, location, and industry. This is not a rubber stamp book that we create and then give to everybody. I have been doing this a long time. I have a team that is our documentation writers. And with this process, you get an hour to 2 hour interview over the phone, depending on how much work we've got to do, and we can put this into place. And working with your team over some time, we can dial this thing in so it's so beautiful. It is really locked and loaded. But here's the key aspect to the documentation. I'll write that documentation for you, and for a one-time fee of $750. That $750 has already been negotiated by your association, and that's why it is the price of what it is. I know what you're probably saying. I bought a book a year ago for $4,000, $3,000. This book I can write for $750, and it will be the best book you've ever seen in your life. When you do get that book written, if you're on the plan, the normal service plan for the God Safety, I will keep your documentation updated for the life of the account at no extra charge.
You mean just when I move, right?
No.
What do you mean?
I will keep it up to date for the life of the charge. So when I write this manual, a lot of times 6 months later, OSHA will come out with a different law. They'll mess with the heat illness program.
Right.
They'll want a different change. And since I do so much OSHA defense, I'm not just reading and interpreting the Cal OSHA law. I'm letting the judges and the district managers interpret the law. So when I see changes or patterns from the state, from San Diego all the way up to San Francisco, I'm able to make sure this book is really in code. Not just because it meets the written code, but the interpretation of the code on the back side of it. And that is power that you won't be able to buy anywhere else.
So really, we are warrantying the documentation as long as you're a God Safety member for the life of the account. So whether you've moved, whether your business has changed, whether Cal OSHA comes and says something's wrong,
right,
no matter what, you will never pay again for a change to keep your things up to date.
That is correct. Now, the other thing the documentation will do is there are companies out there, third-party companies, that when you apply for a big job, I think the term is ISN, and a lot of these places that'll verify if your book meets code.
That's right.
My book is written so that it complies with that. So instead of you're having your office girl submit your paperwork and then have to go through all the little changes trying to get it to work, my book will already comply with that, and if it doesn't, I will make sure my internal team edit what we need to get that to comply too. And that, my friend, could be a monthly basis depending on how many jobs you're bidding. This is a very, very strong package. There are no catches to this. There are no, you got to sign a 5-year contract. I am so confident you're going to love me and my team, Sam, and the rest of my 48 employees, that I know 100% that when you stay with me, when you use us, you're going to stay with us. Not because you have a contract, but because you love us. And we do month to month here. We do month to month.
Even the Golden State, even this contract with Ventura Contractors, we're not doing any long-term contracts.
No.
So if you're with the Ventura County Contractors Association and you join, you can go month to month. Next month you can cancel
if you wanted to, but I'm telling you,
you're not gonna.
For the amount of money we're charging. Steve, have we gotten into the price?
Mike, I don't want to do that, but I guess it's time. Switch the list. Let's get right to it. Okay, so what we are talking about, Mike, is $40 a month. It's not $40 per employee.
No. It's
not $40 only if you stand on your head, whistle Dixie.
You're absolutely nuts if you don't sign up. $40 a month is what we
for the whole company.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the God Safety System. We've talked about digital tracking. We've talked about forms, customized forms. We've talked about this. Now, the one thing we haven't talked about is customer service. And I want you to know that when you join God Safety, we have a concierge program. We will call you. We will work with you. We will do a one-on-one over the phone and online training with you to make sure you get your employees in.
Yep.
You understand how to sign off on lessons. We understand how to do custom forms and work the repository or document upload.
Thank you.
We even work with you on understanding where your documentation is, because your documentation, once purchased and generated, will be on the app forever. So when your employees, like Mike said, sitting at the job site, the foreman is gone with the book of power, now can pull up their cell phone and pull up all the documentation they need in PDF format.
So that's what the plan comes with, the $40 a month, and we threw one more.
There's a few things, Mike.
Well, a couple more. One of the things is the defensive aspect.
Okay.
Because you're members of the association, and you guys are something special. We wanted to throw in an extra thing by doing any defense work at no additional charge above the $40. I already know who's being cited in the state of California. I already know what they're being cited for. So I know that if you're a client of ours, the chances of it being cited are very slow. But that being said, if you are cited, I will defend you at no additional cost. I will file the appeals. I'll go to the informal conferences and hearings, and I will defend you to the hilt at no additional cost. I do have some certified mail that I'm going to charge you for mail and stuff and shipping and stuff, but the hours of the billing of the defense we do not do, and that I'll just take on myself.
So you're telling me, Mike, that there is red tape. If you've ever had a citation from OSHA, if there are timelines that need to be involved, tons of bureaucratic paperwork, you're telling me you're going to fill all that out, you're going to attend all the hearings, and work with me on getting the best resolution possible.
We have a defense team that takes care of this all for our EEAP side of the clients, and we're throwing it to the God Safety if you are a member only of this association. And that is an exclusive offer only to this association.
Absolutely. So let me tell you, that comes along with $40. Now, there is no other charges with regards to the citation. There's no limit to the citations. Hopefully, you only have one, right? But the point is, we're not saying you're only going to get one time. There's no limit to it. Now, there is something else, Mike. It's a customer service number. A lot of people don't put a lot of stock in this, but when you're dealing with Cal OSHA issues, safety issues, and you may not be the smartest guy. Like, you know, we've been doing it for a long time, Mike.
Right.
But some of the contractors out there know a ton about contracting, but some of the safety rules that change constantly, they're not going to know about.
You find that people come out and say, hey, there's a new heat illness rule, you got to train on this. Or the new SDSs are out, you got to train on that, or valley fever, or whatever it is. We write all those safety lessons at no charge to you above the $40 and put it into the system. So you really can find out and get answers to what is going on and what's happening. If you're on a job site and somebody's telling you should be doing ABC, you can call us and have that conversation with one of our consultants, and we can show you the code for code, what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be. Now, if it's your general contractor, then you better do what they want or they'll kick you off the job. But a lot of times you need to know the basics between right or wrong when it comes to code, and we can help you out with that. One of the services we also give you part of the 40 is a one-time evaluation. What we will do is come out to you because of our EEAP roots, and we have such a strong presence in California. We can come out one time during your contract, obviously, and come out and do an on-site inspection for your warehouse, for maybe what you've got going on. Maybe you have a job site that's really big and you want to see what our on-site services are all about. We give you that opportunity to experience it for free one time. And what does it come with besides just a visit from one of our guys? We send one of our inspectors out, one of our key inspectors out to your job site location or warehouse, like Steve said. They will go out and take pictures if you'd like them to. It's an option they can do, and build a confidential report between us and you. And that report will have pictures of the OSHA violations, and then we will tie each picture to a Cal OSHA code. There is nothing worse than safety professionals going to a job site, making up stuff for you to comply with, or saying, you know what, I kind of like it like this, or I kind of like it like that. That is something that we stay away from. What we do is we tell you what the code is. We can connect the picture to the code and then tell you how OSHA is interpreting it, and then you who make the big bucks make the choice at the end of the day. This is just a confidentially free evaluation, and every picture we take will and has to be tied to a specific Cal OSHA code so you know what's going on. And we give you one free visit anywhere in the state of California, mind you.
Anywhere.
At no extra charge. But
so listen, don't want to go on too much longer. I know we've been going, but here's the point. That's the deal for $40. We've got the GOT safety system, the tracking of your employees with their digital signature. We have the form creation that you're able to do forms. We have the document upload where you can save forms. We have the citation, Cal OSHA citation defense. We have a customer service number from 8 to 6.
Gotcha.
And you can call, whether it's a question, whether you're on the job site with issues. We want to answer your questions. We've got professionals here to help you. You got the one-time fee where we come out, or not one-time fee, with one-time visit to come out and assess your job site, assess your company property, and then we have the huge discount on the documentation.
Yes, sir.
Anywhere in the continental United States.
It is the lowest key. And in the spirit of answering questions, let's turn to Sam over here to see if he has any questions. Sam, do you have any questions that are coming through that you think we should answer?
What is the exact name of the GOT Safety app on the phone?
What is the exact name of the GOT Safety app on the phone? Good question. It is one word, GOT Safety, G-O-T S-A-F-E-T-Y.
Boy, you got it right.
I know. Boy, if I couldn't spell safety, what
Sam,
the heck
you
I
give
do?
him a star. That was fantastic.
One word, GOT Safety.
Yeah, because if you separate that search and you put GOT and then safety with a space, it doesn't show anything. So that's on our phone.
Sam, what is the next great question? Okay. Heaven's sakes, we're so clear, Steve. Nobody needs to have
somebody sneak and stop us. So at this point, everybody, we are here now at the time where we want to give away, Sam, show me the love.
Okay, we're going to give away a smoker. Now, if you guys are sitting there thinking this is absolutely insane for a Green Mountain Grill smoker, let me just tell you, it is kind of insane.
It's insane.
Me and Steve, you can look at us and just think, boy, you're larger guys. You must like to eat. And
no. This camera is just adding weight to us.
We do. We're actually only 98 pounds apiece, but we're large men. We love to smoke meat, and we want to share this love with you guys. So we're giving away a free Davy Crockett Green Mountain Grill pellet smoker.
What's the value of this prize?
This guy is valued at $399, and I'm telling you, he will be your best friend. This guy will travel with you. He comes with 3 power sources, a 110 into an outlet, 2 clips to hook onto your car battery, and then a cigarette lighter port that
seems impossible.
You can run this from your house or whatnot. We do, salmon cooking.
How hot does it get?
Goes from 150 to 550 degrees.
550.
It's nuts.
Anything cooks at 550.
We've got the magical question that we're going to ask.
Okay, now real quick, I want to make sure everybody knows the phone number is 1-844-510-7233.
Now, is that going to go to the girls upstairs?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
1-844-510-7233. And here's the reason. I'm going to give you a question of something that we've talked about in this, and I want to make sure that you have the phone number to call in. We want to ship this to you straight away.
Yes.
So again, the phone number, 1-844-510-7233. It's also on our website, gotsafety.com.
Sam has confirmed that the number is correct, so we don't give out the wrong phone. Wouldn't that be terrible, Sam?
How
embarrassing
yeah,
that would be.
that I would give it out wrong.
I know. Okay. All right. So there's the number. If you want to know what the number is and you're missing it, gotsafety.com. You go there and the number is at the top of the screen. It's listed in the chat.
Very nice.
He's the greatest producer in the world.
Yeah.
He's a little too good looking to put on camera. I didn't want anybody to praise him.
You think we are ugly now? Wait till Sam comes.
All right. The question is, what year was EEAP founded? Now, I've said it 3 or 4 times in the beginning of this webinar. You're going to call this number.
What
My
year?
phone should be going. What year was it founded?
What year?
Now, here's the tough part. We're going to sit here and wait.
No, because somebody is going to
There's
come
got to be
through.
somebody. I mean, come on. I know we have 4,000 people watching this webinar, but good night. There's got to be
I know.
somebody.
Somebody knows.
I know one person out there's thinking.
All right.
I'll give you a hint. It was 19...
Man, that's
it's just tough.
it's on my tip of my tongue.
Right. I hate to give out a smoker.
Uh-oh. We've got calls coming in, Mike.
Hopefully we got calls coming in.
I just
Because
saw them. It's coming
I
in.
can only delay this process for so long, and the webinar becomes weird. I've done this before. It
Have
does
you?
get weird.
Does it get weird? How weird?
The tip is
When is
19... Yeah. I mean, come on. This is terrible.
Okay. I'm going to turn that down
Yeah,
a little bit.
that's the ringer, right?
It was just the ringer. I've got it going on. I will tell you this. What we are finding...
We're delaying. None of you guys are calling. This is terrible. This is terrible.
What we've got, what we're really working on here with the God safety system. Yeah, Mike, it's okay. It's okay. The problem is...
I'm about to give
me.
the answer and tell the first guy that calls in telling me what the dang answer is.
Well, we may have to do that. Right?
I may. For those who are asking, yes, me and Stephen are brothers. He is the older brother, I would say, and...
That's not fair.
Anyway,
That's not fair.
It is what it is.
It's not important.
All right, I'm going to give you the answer to it since I'm not hearing anything. Wait a minute. I got a 626 number calling in.
Okay.
All right. See the answer?
Oh, Mike.
Oh,
don't
wait a
get the
minute.
Answer. Hello? Hello, this is Steve Crawley. Who am I speaking to?
This is David Atkins.
Hello, David. How are you?
Good.
David, I am incredible. Can you tell us?
Let's pray David knows the answer. David, what's the answer, David?
1990.
Oh, praise!
David.
Praise, David.
You are a smart and wise man. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And David, did our girls collect some information from you?
They did. I'm already a member of God Safety, so I think you guys already know me.
Good.
It's okay, David.
No, I don't care. We'd love to have you, David.
Thanks a lot, David. Hey, congratulations, my friend.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, buddy. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, you know that people love these smokers, and they watch the webinars for no other reason. We just love that about them. Anything I can drive up the attendance, I'm shameful. I'll give you a smoker even for it.
Listen, I'll tell you this. Those that are on there, we appreciate you joining. We appreciate you coming on board. Now, one thing we want to tell you, if you have any questions about signing up, use that 800 number, 1-844-510-7233, 844-510-7233. Call us. We'll walk you through the sign-up process. We'll answer any questions you have and even get you set up with your first training over the phone. Our guys are looking for you. Please call us. My name is Steve Crawley. Again, this is Michael Crawley, the owner, and we want to keep working with you. Thank you so much and have a great Wednesday.
Thanks.